Well, good evening and welcome to the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve in Plano, Texas. Tonight's exercise is a field test of the NITECORE LR70. I want to thank NITECORE for sending me this product and making the review possible. Well, what do we have? We've got a 3-in-1 flashlight, lantern, and power bank. I'm very interested in seeing how this one performs in the field. I know you're anxious for me to get out there and start the testing. Let me talk about just a couple operational things very quick before we get to the field test. Lantern and flashlight controls are separate. You have the lantern switch here, flashlight switch here. I like that because if you tried to vector every control through one switch, it could get confusing. This is very simple, very easy. The other thing I really like is the form factor. Yeah, there's some heft to it. It's a power bank, but it fits very easily in the hand. Unlike a lot of lanterns that I've carried for search and rescue purposes that either take up a lot of space in my ruck or I have to strap onto the back, this is something I could even fit in a pant or jacket pocket. The modes that you have for lantern are white and red. White is high CRI. I'm very interested in seeing how that looks. Typical low, medium, high. For red, you have low, high, and then a beacon SOS. Now, the flashlight, things get a little strange. You notice I have the user guide right here because I'm about to tell you something that you may not believe. NITECORE calls the base output levels for the flashlight low, mid, high, higher. Unless you think I'm joking, there it is right there. You also have direct access to turbo, although the basic cycle is what I'm going to call ultra low, low, medium, high. You know I'm not going to get low, mid, high, higher. So tonight when I say ultra low, low, medium, high, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like I said, double click to turbo, single click gets you back to whatever output level that you were in. Okay, that's the very basic overview. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the same thing that I am. Jim, will you please shut up, get out there, and show us how it performs? All right then, your wish is my command. All right, here are the lantern outputs starting with low. I'm at the edge of the bridge where I normally do output level test here at the preserve. This is medium. And high. Low red. High red. And beacon red. White output levels. This is what I'm calling ultra low. Then low. Can see out a bit over the creek, medium, maximum line of sight about 35 yards, high, and then double click into turbo. That directed turbo only works from on, and as you can see, we picked up a very light rain. Going to be an interesting night tonight. First practical exercise of the evening. I just wanted to show you what we're up against. Very, very low clouds, so when we get partial reflection of the light from the surrounding city off of that, it's very bright. So even though there's no moon out, it will appear as if there's a full moon or perhaps even higher. Let's move over here to the playground area. You may have seen this before. Here is the LR70 and what I am calling low, and this is our close proximity search. Classic scenario of kids were playing out here earlier in the evening, something got lost, now you have to come search for it. What's the lowest level of output that does an acceptable job for this close proximity search? And there you have it. Path following test. You may have seen this on other reviews. What's the lowest level that you can follow a groomed path? And I'm digging medium in this environment. Now, especially if it were darker outside, this would be literally ideal, and you can definitely get some detail about what's just around you. But most importantly, I can see the slope and features of the terrain well downrange, particularly areas that I might get in trouble. Definitely want to avoid mechanical injuries. This is a high test looking across another creek. I'm trying to move over and really max out line of sight, which I'm guessing is a good 35, 36 yards all the way across. And of course, we've got the very light mist out tonight. Then here we're barely 20, 21 to the sign, and then move around to the tree line. I'm getting good visibility inside the tree line, even with light pollution and reflections off the light rain. And then let's move around to this point where the path curves off to the right. I've been looking for just the right branch and area for this test. You can actually hang the lantern up. I'm about 15, not quite 16 yards away, and that is high white. Let me pan around a bit. But that little hook is very convenient. Of course, there are instances where I'm in the rescue phase of an operation, and if I have an opportunity, I'm near enough to a suitable branch. I really do like to have a lantern with me and hang it up in just this manner for area lighting while I'm rendering first aid. At the top of the observation tower, looking down onto the outer loop trail and turbo, in addition to light pollution from the surrounding city, there's a very minor amount of light above and behind me. Now, I have two fingers on what you would call the head area of the flashlight. I'm going to monitor heat build up, and there you just saw a pretty big step down, just as I was start to saying, we're getting some heat. I may let this run a couple minutes. It looks like we saw the step down, and we will probably be in a steady state for a while. That looks very comparable to the high output level. No appreciable heat at this point, as we're coming up on the 1.5 minute mark. I'm going to have to move over. I don't want to light anybody up. Okay, that's well past 1.5 minutes. Looks like it's a steady state. Let me turn this off, and then we'll redo the test in high so we can compare these two outputs. So I let the light cool down. This is the high output level. And yeah, I admit we have some issue with the rain here, but they do look very comparable. So it looks like after that first step down, you're getting output that is very close to what you would get at high. And just for those who may be interested, this is the P23i, and this is in high output level, comparing high to turbo, so to speak. Turbo isn't going to get you a lot in this environment. There's turbo. You can't really see the extra side to side. You get a little bit more in the hot spot. So that's a first comparison. If you're interested, I can do more of these. All right, it's wrap-up time in what I'm calling ultra low, low, medium as we look up and out to a maximum line of sight in excess of 55 yards. Then high. Well, I hope you saw everything you needed tonight. I can only speak for myself, but I think I'm very confident saying that this light is going in my truck. What a fantastic emergency light, general use flashlight. Everything from path following. I could give this light to someone who's lost and is following behind me. I could use it for aerial lighting and search and rescue. You could imagine easily transitioning from a reading light into a light used to make identifications outside your tent at distances well outside 50 yards, probably more than you would need for most camping situations. I'm pretty sure I could keep going and going and going, but what I'm going to do instead is double click into turbo and call it a night. If there's anything else you'd like to see, leave a comment. I'll see what I can do. And as always, until the next review, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the video.